What's up, everyone? In this video, I'm going to talk more about what the Knicks need to do in free agency. In a previous video, we talked about just how much a disaster last year's free agency was. The Knicks traded their best player for cap space to sign Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and that was a complete fail. The Knicks signed a million power forwards, hoping it would bring them to the playoffs, and that was also a huge fail. Well, unlike Steve Mills and Scott Perry, we actually know that there's more than one position in basketball. So instead of overpaying a million power forwards that don't like to play defense, we're going to sign some players that actually complement the young players on our team. Before we get started, if you love the Knicks like me, I got plenty more videos like this on the channel. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by July, and your support is really appreciated. So similar to last free agent video, I'm going to break down the top 5 free agents that the Knicks need to look into signing. Number 5. The number 5 free agent that the Knicks need to sign is Goran Dragic. If you watched my last video on the Knicks free agency, the one thing every free agent had in common was that they could shoot. Last year, Dragic shot 38% from 3 on 6 attempts a game, and he's been an above average 3-point shooter for most of his career. Now, I really can't stress enough how badly the Knicks need shooting at the point guard position. Elfrid Payton is a solid distributor, but he can't shoot. He only shot a god-awful 20% from 3 this season. Dennis Smith Jr. is just straight ass. This airball free throw pretty much symbolizes his entire time with the Knicks. Frank Ntilikina is a solid player. He's a really good defender. He even gives Knicks fans a hard-on. Oh, I'm not kidding about that, by the way. Seriously, join any Knicks page online. Posts like this is not uncommon. While Frank is a very good defender, until he develops a reliable outside shot, he's not a starter. Anyway, back to Goran Dragic. Having a shooter like Dragic on the team really improves the Knicks' spacing on offense. It'll make it a lot easier for a slasher like RJ Barrett to drive without collapsing into a wall of defenders. Now, Dragic isn't the all-star that he once was, but he's still a solid scorer and playmaker. He did average a solid 16 points and 5 assists a game this season. Dragic may not have the quickness that he once had in his prime, but he could still get to the rim and he could still finish at a high level. According to NBA.com, Dragic shoots 61% at shots within 5 feet of the basket, which is a very high mark for a point guard. So, why is Dragic such a good finisher at age 34? While he isn't as explosive as he used to be, he's still crafty enough to finish when he gets to the rim. Look at this play right here. Dragic beats Dame to the rim, uses the up fake to get him in the air, and then finishes. Check out this play right here. Bertans actually plays good defense to stay in front of Dragic. But Dragic uses a nice spin and left hook to still get the finish. In this play, Goran Dragic gets by his man, gets all the way into the paint, then uses a nice crafty fake on Embiid, and then draws the foul for the and one. Embiid is one of the best defensive centers in the league. Now, Dragic is not only an amazing finisher, but a solid distributor. Because he's so good at getting into the paint, he usually draws help defense. Dragic can find the open man off his drives and can throw lobs to the big man. Bam Adebayo was a huge beneficiary of Dragic's passing this year. The Knicks already have an elite pick-and-roll center in Mitchell Robinson. Adding a playmaking point guard like Dragic to the team would give Robinson a lot more scoring opportunities. Now, while Dragic is a good shooter, finisher, and passer, he's really slipped defensively over the years. He was once a good defender when he was more athletic, but now he really struggles to keep opposing point guards in front of him. While he's a negative on defense, what he brings on offense is something the Knicks desperately need. I would sign Dragic to a 1-year, $10 million deal. He isn't someone that's a long-term solution at the point guard position, but he would be a really nice complement to our top young players, which is RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson. Number 4. The number 4 free agent that the Knicks need to sign is Gallo. No, not this Gallo, this Gallo. Remember Galloway, Knicks fans? The Knicks signed him as an undrafted rookie in 2014. He thrived in the G League and the Knicks called him up. He gave the Knicks a solid 2 seasons, but they let him walk. Since then, he turned himself into a quality role player for the Detroit Pistons. So why Galloway? Well, as stated before, the Knicks desperately need shooting, especially at the point guard position, and that's something Galloway brings at a very high level. On the season, Galloway shot 40% from 3 on 5 attempts a game. Galloway is an absolute sniper. He's got a quick release and he could get hot at any moment. If you don't pay attention to the scouting report and stick to him, he can knock down a bunch of three-pointers and destroy your team. In fact, Galloway had a 2-game stretch this year where he knocked down 12, yes, 12 consecutive three-pointers before missing. That elite level of three-point shooting is going to help space the floor for the Knicks. Along with spacing the floor, Galloway gives the Knicks a plus defender at the point guard position. In Detroit, Galloway always has the responsibility of defending the other team's best perimeter player. Galloway might only be 6'2", but he's got an enormous 6'8" wingspan. With those long-ass arms, Galloway can guard players that are much bigger than him. He's also very athletic, moves his feet well, and doesn't take plays off, and as a result, he has a positive impact on a defensive end. Look at this play right here. Galloway picks up Kemba Walker in transition and gets the block. Kemba Walker is a top 5 point guard. His off-ball defense is also good. Here, Galloway's going to fight over the screen and get the block on J.J. Redick. Now, Galloway isn't a distributor like Goran Dragic is, but his shooting and defense would make him a really excellent fit on this team at the point guard position. For that reason, I have him at number 4. Number 3. The number 3 free agent is the Gallo that you're likely more familiar with, Danilo Gallinari. As most Knicks fans probably know, Gallinari was the 6th pick of the NBA draft of 2008, where he was selected by the New York Knicks. Gallo actually got off to a solid start in his NBA career. He averaged 15 points per game while shooting 38% from 3 his second year in the league. He was a promising young player for the Knicks his first few years. But this is the Knicks we're talking about, and the Knicks never show any level of patience and let young players develop. So, in 2011, the Knicks traded Gallinari along with half the roster to the Nuggets for Carmelo Anthony in what has to be one of the dumbest trades in NBA history. Now, don't get me wrong. Melo was a great player and a future Hall of Famer, but it's very, very stupid to gut your roster for a player that you could have just signed in free agency 6 months later. That infamous trade really deserves a whole video in itself. So why should the Knicks bring back Gallo? Well, like with Langston Galloway and Goran Dragic, the Knicks need Gallinari primarily for his shooting. This year, Gallo shot 41% from 3 on an impressive 7 attempts a game. Gallinari is an absolute sniper who could catch fire at any given moment. The Knicks need to trade Randle immediately and replace him with a stretch 4 like Gallinari. This isn't just my opinion. This is the opinion of the Knicks front office. According to Ian Begley, the Knicks are looking to add a forward who could shoot in free agency. Now, if you subject yourself to the painful experience of watching Knicks games, you know that this team badly lacks shooting. Julius Randle, for example, may put up nice stats, but his lack of shooting hurts the team offense because he clogs the lane. Gallinari is the outside shooter that's going to make life so much easier for RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson. Now, Gallinari isn't just a spot-up shooter. Evidenced by his career's 60 points per game, Gallinari gets buckets. Gallinari can create his own shot for himself off the dribble, and he's also adept at scoring in the post. At 6'10" with good moves down low, he could be a tough cover for smaller players. Now, Gallinari isn't a plus defender, and he's a pretty mediocre rebounder, but the shooting and scoring punch he will bring to the Knicks will make life so much easier for them. Now, in free agency, I would give Gallinari a similar contract to what we gave Marcus Morris last year, a 1-year, $15 million deal. Now, he isn't a long-term solution at the power forward position because he's 30 and he does have a history of injuries, but he would be a huge addition to this team. Number 2. The number 2 prospect that the Knicks need to sign is Serge Ibaka. Similar to Gallinari, Ibaka gives the Knicks a stretch 4 that they desperately need, as he shot 40% from 3 this season. The spacing that Ibaka can provide from his 3-point shooting could really improve the Knicks' offense. Now, Ibaka may not be a scorer like Gallinari, but unlike him, he can provide the Knicks with rebounding and defense. He averaged 8 boards and about a block a game this season in just about 27 minutes. He could protect the rim at a high level, and because he can rebound, you can even move him down to the center position and use him as a stretch 5. Ibaka would be a really nice complement to Mitchell Robinson in the front court. Not only would his shooting space the floor, but together, Ibaka and Mitchell Robinson would make the Knicks really hard to score on in the paint, as they're both good shot blockers. Ibaka would also bring championship pedigree to the Knicks. He was a very crucial role player for the Raptors in their championship run. He always seems to hit clutch shots in big games. In a crucial Game 7 for the Raptors, where they barely squeezed by the Sixers in the second round, Ibaka was the only Raptor who really showed up in that Game 7, besides for Kawhi Leonard. He hit a bunch of clutch shots, including this big one over Ben Simmons. Ibaka finished that game with 17 points and 8 rebounds. Now, Serge Ibaka probably won't be an easy pickup because he's already expressed his interest to re-sign with the Raptors. Now, while that does make it seem like signing Ibaka would be a pipe dream, the fact of the matter is the Raptors have several key role players becoming free agents this year, including Fred VanVleet, Marcus Gasol, along with Ibaka. Now, Toronto can't afford to keep everyone because they want to make a run at Giannis in 2021. At the end of the day, while Ibaka was to stay, money talks. I think the Knicks could easily outbid the Raptors to sign him. I think a 1-year, $17 million deal should probably get the job done. Number one. The number one free agent that I think the Knicks need to get is Christian Wood, who the Knicks are reportedly interested in. Now, the reason why I have Wood at number one is because, unlike the other players, Wood is not only a good fit, but he could potentially be a part of our young core going forward as he's only 24 years old. Now, you don't need me to say again that the Knicks need a stretch four. Well, Wood is just that. He shot just under 39% from three this season. Like with Ibaka and Gallo, his shooting would really help the team offense. But along with the floor spacing, Wood could give the Knicks something else they need at the power forward position, and that's defense. He averaged 6 boards and a block a game in just 21 minutes, which is good numbers for a big man playing bench minutes. Christian Wood is 6'11", with a very long 7'3" wingspan. With those long arms, Wood is really good at altering and blocking the shots of players attacking the rim. Check this out. Here, Wood is able to block Giannis, arguably the best inside scorer in the league. He was able to drop back and use that long wingspan to contain the drive. Now, Wood is also a really good scorer. Wood's number on the year was a modest 13 points and 6 boards a game. But after the Pistons got rid of Drummond, Wood got an increased role and really took off. Wood averaged 22 points and 10 boards a game after the All-Star break while shooting 57% from the field and 39% from three. Thanks to his size and insane hops, Wood is a really efficient scorer in the paint. He often finishes with powerful dunks at the rim. He's also got nice finishing moves, so if he's set up well in the paint, he can still get the job done. Wood runs the floor hard, and as a result, often gets buckets in the fast break. He's also a player that's really efficient in the two-man game, as he's a really efficient scorer when rolling to the basket. Wood can even put the ball on the floor at times and attack the rim. He's a really good offensive weapon as a modern-day big. Christian Wood would be a huge pickup for the Knicks because he would not only satisfy a need that the Knicks have, but he could also be a nice addition to their young core, which includes RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson. Now, if you notice with every other free agent that I talked about, I only gave them a 1-year deal. But because Christian Wood could potentially be a long-term fit on this team thanks to his youth, I actually would be willing to give Christian Wood a contract similar to what we gave Randall last year. 3 years, $60 million with the third year as a team option. A Christian Wood pickup could potentially be a huge steal. So with that said, those are 5 of the top free agents that I really think that the Knicks should consider signing. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And also, go ahead in my channel and check out the rest of my Knicks videos. I have a whole playlist where I keep all of them. Peace.